Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to So Well Media. We're reviewing the new film by Apple, F1. This is new film starring the Brad Pitt and the new T'Challa. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't say that legally. I can't say that. But Dave's interest. Yeah. But yes, this is new film F1, which is Formula One racing. The film goes as follows. In the 1990s, Sonny Hayes was a Formula One's most promising drivers until an accident on the track nearly ended his career and his life. 30 years later, the owner of a struggling Formula One team, played by Javier Bardem, convinces Sonny to return to racing and become the best in the world. Driving alongside team's hotshot rookie, Sonny soon learns that the road to redemption is not something you can travel alone. But yeah, this is directed by Joseph Kosinski. And I gotta say, this is definitely one of my top films of this year, just from also a cinematography perspective. You have a star-studded cast here, but again, Formula One racing is a popular sport as well. But this is the same, director that going from films like Top Gun Maverick and and other things like that, giving that adrenaline pumping, filmmaking. And you feeling that is he going to deliver with this? And he absolutely did. But J King, what was your thoughts in terms of Formula One?
This 100% shot up to like one of my favorite films of this year for a multitude of reasons. First off, just gotta say, the directing on this, it really works well. And again, if you've seen Top Gun Maverick, you know his way of like having these perspective shots from within whatever vehicle is needed for that story, and it works well, especially for Formula One, because it's all going so fast, quick. These are the type of races that are a quick split-second decision making that make everything for all those laps they have to go to, and his filming 100% works for this type of thing. And then you go into the cast. Brad Pitt as Sonny Hayes, definitely like, man, first off, this man does not age, but secondly, like, this is definitely one of his best roles. Damson Idris as Joshua Pierce, definitely a hot shot, and I'd say is definitely going to be one of his most iconic roles outside of his role in Snowfall, and again, if he is Black Panther, which, come on, he is at this point, we'll see. Also, Kerry Connor as Kate McCain, the top engineer, the one who built the cars for their team. Javier Bardem being Sonny's best friend. Again, there's so many really good roles within this, so much good cinematography, so many great locations too. Like, they shot this during actual F1 races, and you can even see cameos by actual F1 racers within this as well, and also some other cameos if you look closely. But yes, it's like, this is a film that is just so well done, and you can feel the passion behind every person involved within this. They wanted to bring that F1 experience to life while also having a genuine story about the road to redemption and what it takes to fully commit yourself to something like this.
Yeah, and I felt this was a good film of passing the torch in a very realistic way. And I didn't think about this until after watching this film, because we get conversations of another show that's coming out on HBO, Lanterns, where you're going to have an older Hal Jordan and a younger Jon Stewart, and basically be this like buddy cop series. But you basically seen this in terms of old generation and new generation. And I much as I never really rejected that idea, I think that F1 formulates that into a beautiful way of showing that type of synergy from different people come from two different generations, two different backgrounds, and showing hey, one has a lot to learn, another person, he has some stuff he needs to let go and realize, hey, maybe my time has passed, and some things that he still needs to learn, both of them. And I felt they did a really good job there. I felt Brad Pitt definitely, he embodies a sense of charisma and gravitas, any role that he does. But with this, just like, I'm just here for the thrill. And yes, I had an accident years ago and stuff, and he's now put in this position where old friend, played by Javier Bardem, is asking him to come in. And it was interesting because I saw this film, at least the first 15 minutes of the film at CinemaCon, Las Vegas and stuff, and definitely it was something I was looking forward to, from the sound design, the editing, sound mixing as well, in terms of Formula One racing. But Damson Idris definitely was also a standout too. I know there was probably some controversy with people thought that the more diverse characters. Felt like their roles were diminished and stuff like that. But I felt, for what it was given, I think you have a very good significant part here, especially with Damson Idris' character and his mother in the film as well. And too, just giving that people that young sport, or new to the industry and everything, who are like hot and everything, but also the parents that are overseeing them, or 9 times out of 10 it's the mama, and stuff, overseeing what's going on. And I also like that even Javier Bardem's character, who's the owner, him diving into also the industry about, hey, we won't get a win like this year, then the investors and shareholders gonna fire me and just gonna sell the team or whatever and stuff like that. And then you're seeing the negative aspects of that, where people are trying to sabotage the actual racing and and stuff like that for profit. And so for someone for me that was more unfamiliar with the world of F1 Formula racing, is that I thought that, to me, what I was told by people that were watching it with me, that definitely this was fully authentic, but yet also kind of open to just the scope of people in terms of in the sports industry, especially within racing, and then the lifestyle, the culture of it. And I thought they did a really good job. Now, I do have some negatives with it here. I felt that not even the pacing, it felt this is over a 3-hour long movie. It felt very long. And but at the same time, it's like you're feeling the adrenaline rush of like, hey, this is a race. Even when like major accidents happen and like stuff like go left field and they have injuries and stuff like that. And I felt that they did a really good job in terms of displaying that level of effect of like when people have to go in recovery and stop racing, what that impacts the entire team, the safety and everything like that. Because one person down, this is the whole team, and and everything. Even when it comes to the actual car and vehicle itself, when we get into like Kerry Condon's character, who basically get into like the science of it all and then engineering and everything. And for me, from a STEM background stuff, I really did enjoy what they were doing. But like, what was your thoughts in terms of the supporting characters and the pacing of the film?
Honestly, I wasn't too bothered by the pacing, because it's like, again, like this is a race that goes through multiple different races. You only have a few. And also, again, just the technicality of everything that's put into it, the science behind these vehicles, and also how much each specific piece costs, like thousands upon thousands of dollars as well. And so you're trying not to damage the cars as well. Again, the technicality of like, shifting the tires, again, wind speed, just all the stuff. Hell, that's really why I like how they highlighted all of the individual, at least most of the individual characters in there, from those who change out the tires real quick within a pit stop, to those who, safety cars, all that come out, or those that really just work to build the best type of car for combats, for defense, for speed, all that type of stuff. Just everything that goes into it makes you appreciate this is an ensemble cast. Even though you definitely have like a main cast within here, it is very much also an ensemble story. And as much as you would give it to Sonny or Joshua, you have to give it to every single one of these characters, because it's like they made this race run just as much as the people who are actually in the cars using the cars. Like it takes a village to move something like this, and I'm glad that this movie authentically showed it. But also, one thing I want to bring up real quick is about Joshua Damson's character, and just the growth that he went through within this film. Because like when we meet him, he's very much like, oh, I gotta look good for clicks, and I got this group's gonna go out, so I'm gonna just get ready for the next one soon. Sensational, like everything, like just trying to keep up appearance. No. But it's really through Sonny that he learns, as he said, it's all just noise. Like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about the clicks, the photos, the meetups, all that. Just focus on the race. Focus on what actually matters in that moment. And when he starts to listen, he does better, not only as a racer, but also as a person. Like, he goes from being less of a jerk to being a lot more humble and appreciating the people that help him get to this place in the first place. Like, and I think that definitely when Sonny leaves them, he It's basically the whole leave a place better than you found it, and I think Sonny definitely did that for everyone, especially for Joshua, and I really appreciate how that film did that.
Yeah, and I felt, and it was great that you brought that up because even the press conferences I thought was also realistic, just coming from a journalistic, background. Where it's like, you're asking the hard questions, but really just some people that are just bad journalists just doing it for the sake of PR, just to see if they can put the bear. And I like that they did that, and then it's like what they can do to trigger somebody, even though your own teammates and stuff. Like, why'd you cut me off? Why'd you do that? And you're right, he did become more selfless at the end of the film, but that's because of Brad Pitt's character, I felt, and his influence and everything, and his impact in terms of the rest of the team and stuff. But and definitely I think the 3-hour pacing of this this film on an emotional level, kind of like, all right, well, okay, it makes sense because we're just like allowing to sit into certain scenes when accidents happen and everything, and plot points get revealed. But I did like to have the payoff of this character at the end. He's just like, all right, I won my trophy, but I'm going on to the next thing. And he just like just enjoying the for the ride. But there also is a lot of cameos in terms of people in the F world racing, in terms of figures, owners, as well as also celebrities too. They're in this movie if you can catch them in the background. But yeah, but other than that, I definitely, this is considered one of my the best films of the year. And Joseph Kosinski, even then, it's funny that one you went from Top Gun Maverick, but he also did Tron Legacy. It's funny,
right?
How time flies. You know what I mean? But anyway, make sure you subscribe button, comment, like, and share. Let us know your thoughts on F1 Formula Racing, which is on Apple TV. Hopefully, you can be streaming right now. Make sure you subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.